Hello everyone, my name is Vomidas. I'm the 4th-year student and studying at Nagara University. Welcome everyone to Team 3. The topic today is analysis of origin, spectrum of activity, and implications of penicillin G. My team has 3 members, me and my friends are Vũ Thanh Long and Nguyễn Việt Hoàng. About the assigned work, we discussed and decide that documents is edited by me. Find and study material are responsible by Vũ Thanh Long and Nguyễn Việt Hoàng. PowerPoint is designed by 3 of us. About the contents, we have 6 main points. 1. Definition of antibiotics. 2. Origin, source, and development of penicillin. 3. Analysis chemical structure of penicillin. 4. Spectrum of activity. 5. Indication and development of indications for penicillin G. And finally, is about conclusion. We go to the 1. Definition of antibiotics. As you know, an antibiotic is a drug that kills or slows a growth of bacteria. The term originally described only those formulations derived from living organisms, but it now applies also to synthetic bacteria, synthetic antimicrobials such as sulfonamides. Antibiotics are drugs which target disease without harming the host. They are not effective in viral, fungal, and other non-bacterial infections. Effectiveness of individual antibiotics varies widely with respect to various types of bacteria, and the location of the infection and the ability of antibiotics to resist. Oral antibiotics are the simplest approach when effective, with intravenous antibiotics reserved for more serious areas. Serious case, antibiotics may sometimes be administered topically, as with eye drops or the ointments. About the main point 2 is origin, source, and development of penicillin. We go to A, origin, source. In 1928, Alexander Fleming, a Scottish physician and a microbiologist, noticed that a petri dish containing Staphylococcus aureus bacteria, the bacteria that cause infection, had been contaminated with mold from an unknown source. After further research, Fleming discovered that the mold belonged to genus Penicillium. He named the antibacterial substance penicillin. You can see the pictures here. To confirm his finding, Fleming extracted the substance and tested it on various types of bacteria. He found that penicillin effectively inhibited the growth of harmful bacteria with harming human cells. About the development in the late of 1930s, scientists like Howard Flores, Sir Norman Italy, and Sir Edward Abraham at Oxford University conducted further research on penicillin. They discovered methods to extract and purify penicillin G from the penicillin mold. Clinical trials showed that penicillin G was effective in treating bacterial infection, particularly septicemia and pneumonia. In 1949, penicillin G is used in clinical practice. Both penicillin G and V are alternate fermentation of penicillin mold. In 1957, 6 amino penicillinic acids, which named 6-APA, can be extracted, and semi-synthetic penicillin are produced by adding different organs. My presentations will end here, and the analysis chemical structure of penicillin will be presented by Hoàng.
Hi, my name is Hoàng, and for the analysis of chemical structure for penicillin, this is the chemical for the penicillin antibiotic group, and it is characterized by the beta-lactam ring that we can see here. So it belongs to the beta-lactam antibiotic group, and in the group, it is different. The differentiate between each penicillins are the all group, because the change of all group will lead to stability against enzymes like penicillinases or beta-lactam, which lead to bacteria more resistance against the antibiotics, and it also leads to the change in the antibiotic spectrum. This is the penicillin G structure, we can see that it have benzene in the oil group. This penicillin G is not widely used because of two factors. The first factor is because it's not stable in the acid environment of the stomach, so it has to be administered to the injection in the form of potassium salt, which will create very inconvenient for the patient to use. And second, it is only primarily effective against gram-positive bacteria and some gram-negative bacteria and spirochetes, and it is not affected and be resisted by the bacteria that produce the enzyme beta-lactamase and other gram-negative like E. coli, which is frequently seen in the Vietnamese people. Because of that, so the user had to come up with the preventative of which we could treat a wide range of infection. The first thing that came up was ampicillin, which offer a broader range of broader spectrum of activity than either of the original penicillin, and allow doctors to treat broader range of both gram-positive and gram-negative infection related to bacteria. And next, their amoxicillin will improve the duration of the action. So because two of that work better, so they could use to treat urinary tract infection, otitis media, and uncomplicated community-acquired pneumonia, invasive pneumonia, and listeria meningitis. And after that, there are also flucloxacillin will improve even now for the resistance for beta-lactam produced by the bacteria such as Staphylococcus species, which to resist the penicillin. And my presentation ends here. And for the next part of the indication and development of indication for penicillin G will be presented by Vũ Thành Long.
Greeting teacher and everyone. My name is Lang and I will continue our presentation with the fifth part, which is indication and development for indications for penicillin G. As we know, penicillin was the first antibiotic discovered and widely used in medicine, but over time its indication has changed due to factors such as antibiotic resistance, side effects, and the development of alternative antibiotics. So as we see down here is a timeline of significant change in the indications of penicillin. In the early phase, somewhere 1940 to 1950s, is the antibiotic revolution. The next change is the expansion phase from 1950s to 1970s. Is the emergence of resistance. Next is adjustment phase from 1980 to 2000s. It's a limitation due to resistance and allergies. And the final part is present and the future, which is selective indications. In the early phase, as known as the antibiotic revolutions, first of all, in 1928, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, but it wasn't until 1941 that it was applied in clinical practice. Penicillin was entirely used widely to treat infections caused by gram-positive bacteria such as pneumonia, cellulitis, and endocarditis, syphilis, and especially in wartime wound infection. It was considered a miracle drug because of its high effectiveness and few severe side effects. For the next is expansion phase. This is known as emergence of resistance. This is because of the overuse of penicillin led to the development of penicillin-resistant bacteria, notably Staphylococcus aureus. And to go with this, some semi-synthetic penicillins, such as methicillins, oxycillins, ampicillins, and also as amoxicillins, were developed to expand the antimicrobial spectrum and deal with some resistant bacteria. From that time, penicillin remained the first choice for many bacterial infections, but its indication very narrow. For the next part is adjustment phase. It's the limitations due to resistance and allergies. Penicillin resistant, known as Staphylococcus aureus, as known as MRSA, emerged, reducing the effectiveness of penicillin-based treatment for staphylococcal infections. From there, an increased rate of penicillin allergies, including anaphylaxis, was reported, prompting doctors to be more cautious when prescribing it. But other antibiotics such as cephalosporin, macrolide, and fluoroquinolones apparently replace penicillin for some indications. However, penicillin G and B continue to be used for conditions like streptococcal infections and syphilis, but no longer the first line treatment for many other infections. And to the final phase is a present and future. Penicillin remains important, but has more restricted indication, and is primarily used when resistance is not an issue. For some example, some disease like syphilis, and we see here, or streptococcal pharyngitis, are still the drug of choice. Endocarditis due to streptococcus virulence are used normal when the bacteria are susceptible. And some infections caused by Pneumonia pallidum, Clostridium perfringens, and actinomyces are still better alternatives. For respiratory, urinary, and skin infections, newer generation antibiotics are often preferred. And penicillin combined with beta-lactamase inhibitor, something like amoxicillin clavulanate, help expand the spectrum, but it still compete with cephalosporins and carbapenems. About the dosage form and administration for penicillin G, there are three types of dosage form and administration. First is intravenous administration. It is mostly for severe infections like meningitis and septicemia. Second is intramuscular administration. Penicillin G, benzathine, or propane are used for syphilis treatment or as prophylaxis for rheumatic fever. And penicillin G are not administered orally because penicillin G are degraded by stomach as acid, but so it's not effective when taken by oral. Come to the conclusion of our presentation. All three of us can a few words about the conclusion. Our first is that.
Well, penicillin G is one of the first antibiotics discovered and plays an important role in medical history. Discovered in 1928 by Alexander Fleming and widely applied since the 1940s, penicillin G has saved millions of lives, particularly during World War II when you have treated one infection. Although many new antibiotics have been developed, penicillin G remains crucial for treating specific infections such as syphilis, meningitis, and infective endocarditis. However, the increasing resistance to antibiotics requires careful monitoring of issues, and antibiotics stewardship strategies are necessary to maintain its effectiveness in treatment.
For my conclusion, I have 2 points to say. The first is the application in the treatment. the penicillin is of primary use in infection caused by gram-positive bacteria, namely like pneumonia, rheumatic fever, or infection endocarditis, and it also used to treat meningitis caused by Neisseria meningitis. My second point is about the dosage form and administration. Of course, you know that I said before that the penicillin cannot be used in the oral form because it will be dissolved by the acid in the stomach. So it need to be administered to the potassium to injection by either intravenous or intramuscular, depending on the severity of the infection, especially in the penicillin, beta-carotene, or cocaine used for syphilis treatment or rheumatic fever.
Some conclusions about the development and limitations are, first of all, initially penicillin C was widely used for various infections. However, with the development of antibiotic resistance, particularly through the production of beta-lactamase enzyme, penicillin G has become less effective against many bacteria such as Staphylococcus aureus and many gram-negative bacteria. As a result, its indication have been narrowed, and it's now primarily used for infections like syphilis and meningitis caused by susceptible bacteria. There's some links we researched and we discovered, so we want to share a bit. Thank you. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your Thank you for listening.